Hi, I'm Pastor Kurt, and this is your 5-minute Bible study. Today, we're going to look at 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 13, through chapter 5, verse 24. In this section, the author is addressing kind of one simple question from this community. And the question is, what about all of our friends and loved ones who have already died before Jesus has come back? Is Jesus going to give them new life too? It's a fair question, because at that time, they were kind of expecting Jesus to come back tomorrow. Well, now the people they have known and loved have died, and Jesus hasn't come back. So what about them? They are reminded here that God will bring with him those who have died. Just because somebody's died, that doesn't mean God's not going to take care of them. So this was an incredible word of comfort for these people, right? If they thought that their deceased loved ones were no longer in God's care, hearing this promise was a wonderful word for them. God will bring with him those who have died. Now, in chapter 4, verse 17, we have a verse that is sometimes taken out of context, and it's used to talk about the rapture. Please don't do that with this verse. The rapture is not even a biblical idea, okay? This verse is not about some people being beamed up into heaven and everybody else being, quote, left behind. Instead, it's a reminder that God will bring with him those who have died, right? Everybody is still in God's care, those who are living and those who have died. So it's not about rapture stuff, okay? That's just nonsense. Instead, it's this wonderful promise that even those who are dead are still loved and taken care of by God. God still gives them new life, just like God still gives you new life, which is wonderful. Okay, but what do we do then while we're waiting around for Jesus to come back? This was another one of their questions. The response is to continue to put on that whole armor of God. And I mentioned that metaphor in an earlier video about Ephesians. That in the Ephesians text is the famous one that talks about the armor of God. Here, the metaphor is brought up again. And it's a reminder that we are just called to continue to live our faithful lives, right? We don't know what the future is going to hold. What we do know is that God loves us, God loves those who have died, and we are called to faithfully serve God. And so the audience of this letter is reminded, continue to wear that full armor of God. Continue to stay faithful. Continue to do the things that God has called you to do. Sometimes today we need that reminder. Sometimes today it can feel very easy to be discouraged. And we wonder, like, what am I doing? Is what I'm doing making any difference? There's so much horrible stuff in the world. Why should I even bother continuing to be a disciple of Jesus? Right? I bet you know that feeling. I bet you know how sometimes it's just really hard to continue to follow Jesus. Well, here, today, we get this same promise. Continue to wear that armor of God. Continue to defend yourself against those fiery arrows of the devil, so to speak. Continue to stay faithful, right? In a way, this section of this letter is being like a cheerleader to the people there, right? They kind of think it's time to give up, that Jesus hasn't come back, that their loved ones have died, kind of like, what's the point of going on? But here, the author's continuing to remind them, like, no, don't give up. Keep going. Keep doing it. Keep fighting the good fight, right? So it's a cheerleader thing. It's an encouragement thing. It's an inspiration thing. And it's inspiration for them to keep going, and it's inspiration for us to keep going, right? No matter what, we are called to continue to follow Jesus, knowing that all of us, living and dead, are still in his care. There's your 5-minute Bible study. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.